I want to start by apologizing to Albertans on behalf of our government. There has been lots of talk about who's responsible, who's to blame, who's accountable. The first sentence of the Auditor General's report makes clear where the blame rests, and he takes pains to say that his findings should not be extrapolated out to others across government. But even so, there's no question that Albertans feel let down by their government, and that means all of us. There has been much debate over whether or not Minister Horner is responsible for the use of government aircraft and should have stopped or prevented the abuse chronicled in the Auditor General's report. Ultimately, the oversight and management of the use of planes is the responsibility of the minister in charge of them. The practice and reality, the responsibility is that of members of cabinet who use the planes. Questions arose in the House this past spring about a flight that the Auditor General has found to have been used for exclusively partisan purposes. That was the flight to Grand Prairie. While I was not on that flight, I did defend it in the House. I understood at the time, after what I thought was appropriate inquiries, that the plane had been booked to fly to Grand Prairie for a government news conference to update progress on the new Grand Prairie Hospital. In retrospect, and based on the Auditor General's conclusions, I believe the plane should have been cancelled once the event was called off. As leader of this government, I apologize for that flight, and as you know, the party has reimbursed taxpayers for the cost of it.
I remind Albertans that the purpose of government aircraft is to conduct government business, as the Premier just said, and to conduct that business efficiently in all corners of the province. First, invited guests must now be pre-approved by the minister responsible for the government airplanes. The request must show what reasonable government business requirement is being met. If the invited guest is a family member, it must be shown that they have been invited to attend the government meeting or function. Second, each request for an airplane must identify if there are commercially available options and the approximate cost based on a standard economy airfare. The request must also include the mileage and driving time between the two communities, along with the reasons why a government aircraft is the preferred option. Government will provide a quarterly update to Albertans of the communities served by government flights and the cost of these flights, on top of the regular monthly report of manifests. Very disappointed in what has come about, very disappointed in some trust that I had placed in certain individuals in the past. There's nothing I can do about that. I believe that what we're doing today and what we're going to do in the near future, as we have more discussions with the Auditor General and the new administration, the Premier's been very clear with my direction, and that is move as quickly as possible to make this happen.